Hi, this is Debbie. Welcome back to Cheyenne Wyoming Urban Gardener. And what you're looking at right now is what we did today. I was mentioning in the last video that we had gotten some peaches and cherries and strawberries and things like that. And went ahead and processed 8 pounds of the peaches today for peach jam. So that is equal to 9 pints. So we got 8 pints and then 2 half pints of peach jam. We just pulled them just a little bit ago, and they're sitting here now waiting to finish up. They're all sealed, but they're just waiting to finish up cooling off and getting the jam nice and ready. And all we did was just use the recipe that is in the ball book. We did go ahead and pick up the ball preserving handbook, so we have that. And I found out some sad news about my canner. As you can see, I have a glass top stove, and I do use cast iron on my glass top stove. I've not had any issue with it, and it's mostly because you have to really watch that you are heating a pan up. Say this is the pan that the ring where the eye is, or what would be an eye on an electric stove, is about equal to the size of the bottom of the pan, or no more than about an inch wider. So all of my cast iron is within those realms. And unfortunately, the canner that I had gotten doesn't. And also it has a rippled bottom. I have a water bath canner, and then I also have a pressure cooker. And the water bath canner does not have a flat bottom. You have to have a flat bottom for a glass top stove. It has the ripple bottom. It's one of the granite wares. So I will have to take that back. And then my pressure cooker / canner, I don't know much about it, so I'm going to have to really research it before I can use it on this glass top stove, but it is pretty large. So just bear in mind, if you have a glass top stove for canning, it is a little bit more difficult because you have to make sure that you have a product that will work with your glass top stove. And that's kind of the issue that I have going on, but I can use a stock pot as a canner, which is what I have been doing already. Just wanted to make it a little easier on myself and get a bigger canner, but unfortunately won't be able to use it. And I'll have to try to see if I can find one that is flat bottom. Anyway, that is the peach jam. Looking great, 9 pints of it. And I would show you the process for how we did all the canning, but honestly, we spent all day in the kitchen, and I'm not looking forward to spending any more time in the kitchen. I should have went and taken you along on the process. But well, you'll get to see some future canning videos perhaps. But anyway, I know a lot of people right now are having issues with getting canning jars and canning lids and rings and things like that. And I have not had that issue because last season in the fall, or actually the season before last, I purchased quite a bit of canning lids, canning jars, and things like that from Goodwill, as well as picking up lids and rings from Goodwill that were still new, still in the boxes, and also on clearance at different places. So I have quite a stockpile of lids and rings and all of that. So you can see I have boxes and boxes and boxes of lids and rings. I'm not really sure how many I have. I'd have to count all the boxes and everything, and some of them are just loose in there. Some boxes are full, some are new, and a lot are not. So I have a bag full of those, have plenty. And I did also pick up 3 more boxes of pint jars that you can see here that all have lids and rings with them. And as long as the lids and the rings are not damaged, which I always inspect every single time that I do any canning, then I will reuse them. I have reused them in the past. I've never had any issues with them, never had any failed jars, just as long as you're inspecting them to make sure there's no nicks, cuts, scratches, anything that's on the wax ring on the inside of the lid. And make sure you're just inspecting the ring to make sure there's no dents, anything like that. So we have those 3 jars there that are brand new. And then I have 2 more boxes that my daughter picked up today of the little 4-ounce jars, or the quarter pints right here. So we got 24 of those. And then I had, these are the ones that I gotten at the Goodwill, and I did go ahead and sterilize those and get them all clean and everything, and all the rings and the lids for these. And as you can see, the rings and lids Brand new. They just happen to be loose in the box. So I have all of those, and there's quite a lot of lids and rings in there. And then I still have some left over in here that are just really weird odds and ends of jars. They're not quite, some of them not any particular brand. Some of them are a particular brand that are just the decorative jars. And then I have a couple that came from someone's saving jars. And I did test these, and the regular mouth rings and lids do work on these jars, which are just random jars that's probably someone picked up something in. And they do fit on these, so I will use those for canning as well. They're older jars, obviously. Some of them are weird size. This one's a little bit shorter than the other one that I just picked up. And I'm glad that I did go through my lids and jars and all that other stuff, because I'm going to have to go get some quart-sized jars. I thought I had a lot more quart jars. Ends up that I have just mostly pints. I've only got 2 quart jars that are left. And I have a lot of pickling that I'm going to be doing, and a whole lot of other canning that I'm going to be using quart jars in. So definitely going to have to go to the store. And I did already reserve a couple of boxes on Walmart.com. So I can go ahead and pick those up at Walmart for quart-sized jars. And then I have 2 or 3 more boxes of the half-pint jars that are coming off of Amazon. So we have quite a few jars that are coming in. I've got quite a few already. I do have more quart jars somewhere. I just need to figure out where in the house that they are. Big house, lots of rooms, and sometimes things get jumbled up here and there. So anyway, we're doing canning right now. I've got 10 pounds of strawberries, 10 pounds of peaches left, 10 pounds of cherries, and a whole lot of cucumbers and squash to get canned, preserved, and all of that. So anyway, if you want to go through the process with me, or at least see what we get processed, then like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we will see you in the next one through all of this canning mess.